Hey everybody, it's your friend Jason Pound here answering the top questions asked by home sellers in today's real estate market. The question we're tackling today is why don't more people sell their home for sale by owner and not use a real estate agent? The short answer, $65,000. If you look nationwide at all the properties that are sold for sale by owner, and you look at all of the properties that are marketed and sold with a listing real estate agent, this is the price difference. $65,000 less is what for sale by owners are bringing in. Question is the juice worth the squeeze? Well, as usual, let me over-explain. 3 metrics here for you. We are at an all-time low. Back in 1985, I wrote it down over here. Back in 1985, 21% of all home sales were done for sale by owner. Even with today's access to technology and information, it has fallen all the way down to 5%. And the reason people list their home for sale by owner is they're trying to avoid paying realtor compensation, which leads to the next disturbing fact. 75% of properties that were marketed and listed for sale by owner still ended up going under contract and selling to buyers who were represented by real estate agents. So 75% of for sale by owners are doing the full-time job of a real estate agent and still end up paying for a realtor anyway. That's something to think about. Final stat here, 18%. If $65,000 didn't twang your buds, your typical for sale by owner transaction is going to net, take home 18% less on the sale of their home. Does it make sense to try to save 6% to lose 18%? Or save 3% to lose 18%? That does not make sense, just looking at the raw statistics. But as usual, let me over explain. Over here on the side are the top 4 mistakes that for sale by owners make. The first one is pricing. Most of your for sale by owners who end up selling without an agent are selling to a friend, family member, or neighbor that they know who is expecting a discount. And most people struggle to negotiate against people that they know, like, and trust, which feeds right back into that 18% discount that they're giving up. Another mistake that for sale by owners make is pricing their property too high. They price it so high that nobody ever wants to come look at it. You can't price it too low. If you price it low, it'll spark a bid more if you have enough exposure for people to actually know about it. This is the second mistake that for sale by owners make, is they have to do all of the marketing themselves. Well, forsalebyowner.com is a famous website, and there may be 2 or 3 others. But when you go live with a Keller Williams agent, in about 4 hours after your listing goes live, it's appearing on thousands and thousands and thousands of websites. Think about Oklahoma City alone. We have about 6,000 agents, and not all of them are at small one-off brokerages. I would say the majority of us are with larger real estate offices that have syndications. So the moment we go live with a listing in Oklahoma City, it hits all of the Keller syndications, and then it goes through an IDX feed, and every single realtor in Oklahoma City that has an IDX feed, it goes on their website immediately and is immediately marketed to all of their clients. That is the power of using as a realtor, is you have access to their network, and all of us realtors are tied in together, sharing data, trying to get properties sold, trying to find properties. And when you are doing it yourself, you are not a part of that network, and you are completely missing out on the market unless you are spending the money to get the exposure. And you're gonna have to spend more than the 6% you tried to save to get that exposure. Number 3, negotiations. As we mentioned, most of for sale by owners who are going to have success without a real estate agent involved are dealing with friends, family, and neighbors. They struggle to negotiate against those individuals. And then 75% of for sale by owners are going to be a part-time real estate agent who's trying to sell their own house, part-time real estate agent for sale by owner, are going to be negotiating against a full-time agent who does this all day, every day. We have access to the data that you do not have access to. And we are willing to walk away because there are plenty of other properties to look at. Whereas you as the first sell by owner with your limited exposure, when you finally have a fish who's serious, you have to deal with them or you're going to lose them. Often why it results in an 18% discount. Finally, number 4, liability. This is the one that nobody ever talks about. But real estate laws are written in such a way to protect the buyers and place the sellers under liability. Just like you wouldn't do your own divorce, you wouldn't do your own murder defense if you were in jail, or you shouldn't. Just like you would not handle those complex legal tasks that tie you down with severe penalties for making a mistake. There are hundreds of thousands of dollars of liability when it comes to the mistakes that you can make when dealing with a real estate transaction. Last year, I hate to admit this, but I made a $14,000 mistake with a client that I had to eat myself. I covered that $14,000 cost. Had the seller been for sale by owner and made the mistake, they would have had to cover the $14,000 mistake. So at the end of the day, none of the math makes sense. You don't want to make $65,000 less. You don't want to make 18% less. And when you look at the cost that it's going to take to get the exposure, to get enough traffic to get your house sold, it's going to cost you more than the 6% you would have paid the realtor. And you're going to end up making more than likely 18% less than you could have if you just hired a professional in the first place. My name is Jason Pound with Jericho Pound Realty Group. Keller Williams Mullenix in Norman. I service the entire Oklahoma City market with hyper-local expertise in South Oklahoma City, more in Norman. If we can ever be of service, don't hesitate to reach out. In the meantime, peace out. Have a great life.